What should we do now? I know. Let's go look at my toys.
Welcome back, everybody, to Polar Bears Pop Culture Shop TV. This is episode 26. We are going to get started, but before we jump into it, can you please like, subscribe, and hit that sweet bell notification for all your updates. With that being said,
yeah, and leave us comments too.
Leave us comments for sure.
Yeah, let us know what you want to see.
Yeah, the episode 26, we're going to jump right in. How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. We were here together. It was a busy weekend, so thank you, everyone. Busy weekend, Memorial Day weekend sale. So we sold a lot. A lot came in, a lot went out, so that's always good. That helps us stay in business. So pretty good there. I did want to add something, I guess, now that I just thought about it with the sale.
Cool.
Unless you want to say something real quick.
No.
Add
away.
I'm going to go on a tirade.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
So we did have a sale this weekend. We do sales throughout the year. We do quite a bit. Some of them vary from 10% up to 20%.
Plus, we have our customer loyalty program where if you sign up, which all it takes is a phone number, nothing else required. We don't use your information or anything. But after your 10th purchase, 20% off of everything that you buy for that one purchase.
Yeah, your entire purchase, not one item. So that's what I was going to get to. So we give plenty of discounts throughout the year. Our pricing, I think, is pretty fair to begin with.
I think so.
Got $1.99. I've got $7.99. I've got $16.99. Cheap prices. $14, $11, $2.49.
So, you know, we still do have the customers that come in. They want to get these huge discounts for nothing really. They're not even regular customers sometimes, too. So even the one we did this weekend was 10%. You have to mention it. So it was more for our followers. So you're already following us on Instagram. So you get the discount. Normal people coming in wouldn't get it unless they were following us. So we do little stuff like that, too. A lot of times we open it up to everybody. It's discount no matter what. So we did that. But, you know, we're still getting people in wanting these huge discounts. My thing was, especially now coming with the tariffs, we're going to be paying more for stuff. Stuff is going to go up. So any little discounts we are giving, it's really going to, like, hit us. So we can't be giving these big discounts where, you know, people are wanting more than, like, 10% off or, you know, things like that. So I don't know. I mean, that's my thought on it. It wasn't really a tirade. I was just wanted to point that out.
I thought you were going to go off.
Now, calm down, diddly 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 diddly. They did their best, shoddly diddly diddly diddly. Gotta be nice, hostility diddly diddly diddly. Ah, hell, diddly ding dong crap.
I thought
about it. No, it just popped in my head right now because we do. My point really was we do give discounts throughout the year. So if you can't afford it that day, maybe come back when we're having a sale or work up to that 20%.
I always recommend trades as well, too. We offer trades. So the thing about trades, and this is just all the way around, if you bring in stuff that we're not interested in, obviously we can't take it because if we can't sell it, we can't also build up just massive amounts of unwanted product.
Yeah.
So we take stuff that we are interested in that we know will sell that we need. Mm-hmm. And other than that, you know, I think our prices are more than fair. I've looked around town, a lot of other places. I just went to a place, Book Off. They just had a new grand opening for a new location. You know, I found some cool stuff that, you know, you can't get anywhere else. So if you're into like anime imported, like toys from overseas and stuff, that's a nice place. They have video games. They have all this cool stuff. But I always just kind of look at our pricing versus other pricing, and I always feel like ours is really good. So I don't bash on any other businesses or anything. I just collectively get data to say like, okay, how are we doing? And I know we're good. So I think when people come and they support us, they always let us know kind of their feedback. Yeah. That's always great. And I think we're doing good. So this weekend was a good testament to that. I think this weekend it didn't stop. You know, It was nonstop, and that was a really awesome feeling because summer's here. You know, we're all gonna take a little hit like going into summer, and the climate right now is pretty much people are saving money as opposed to spending money. So it was nice. It was a really good weekend. And speaking of that, you know, going into some of the events that we have coming up, you know, we got in a lot of trade. So now we have cool stuff for the toy show. Mm-hmm. You know, and I always let people know this, but the stuff we take to the toy shows, that's not necessarily stock that we have on the shelves right now. So that way, when you go to the toy show and you come to the Polar Bear booth, it's going to be all fresh pickings.
Yeah, even though there's 90 other tables, we still want to have different stuff. We don't want
Of course.
stuff where you can walk in the shop. Even though we still get a lot of people that do the shows, they don't come into the shop. So please come into the shop if you do the shows.
And if
we do have some cool stuff here.
Yeah, if you're new to, if you go to Epic and you don't know we have a shop, that's why we're there. We're also there to promote the shop. So the one of the big pushes for Epic Toy Shows are that it's sponsored by Polar Bear's Pop Culture Shop.
Yeah, that's one thing. We do events. When we do other events, it's always twofold. We want to sell some stuff. And number two, we want to promote, get our name out there. You know, there's still people finding us, so it's still good. We haven't reached everybody yet. 4.5 years now. So going strong. Hopefully we keep it going, but that's why we rely on trade-ins, people actually coming in and buying. A lot of stuff, cool stuff we did get in this weekend was moving pretty quick too. So
Big time.
That's always good. But like James said, we are getting a little more selective on what we're taking in. We don't have anywhere to put the stuff in the back anymore. Now it's like we need stuff, we can move it right away.
Yep.
No more sitting on stuff to get to it eventually.
Yeah.
You're tied up in a lot of money that way. So, you know, we're looking more for cool stuff. So if we do turn your stuff down this time, you know, don't feel bad. It's just we don't need it right now. You know, there's a lot of stuff that we're overstocked with just because you're bringing in and other people are bringing it in, you know, the same items. So
yeah. And that's not really a tirade. I'd say that's just some good.
Nah, I was kidding. Yeah, I was not gonna do a tirade. No, just some stuff, some observations. You know?
Yeah. So, did you check anything out over the weekend, movies wise, or anything like that?
Movies wise, yeah. But before we get into that, though, let's talk about these, just so we can get them out the way.
Sweet.
Yeah, because they're kind of in the way right now.
So this is back to the trade-ins for the weekend.
Yeah, this one, actually, we went to Zach's, which we've been buying stuff off him.
Yep.
We did get some Transformers and stuff, which you have put a lot of them out. What we can put out right now. So definitely check
some
that
are
out.
going to the show.
Yeah, I know you're getting a lot ready for the show, so that's what we're talking about. Stuff we do buy, it doesn't even make it to the floor.
Yep.
Put it out at the show. This one's a Super 7. It's like they call it a prototype thing. It's like it was like a con exclusive. I thought it was pretty cool, so I picked it up over there. Not really into Super 7 stuff. We were talking about that off camera.
Prototypes are cool though.
Yeah, we won't get into the whole Super 7 thing right now, but we can probably do a whole episode on that.
This is a big dog right
This
here.
is a big dog right here. Mondo.
Deluxe.
Mondo Deluxe. I got to hold that flap because I know that styrofoam's going to fold. But this is a deluxe Mondo figure. Hard to get because this is the deluxe figure. This isn't the regular edition. There's a whole bunch of attachments and stuff once you lift him up, but that was a cool pickup. This one, he goes, depending on what you give me on it, you know, will depend on if I'm trading it in.
Yeah.
He liked our offer at the end of the day. So.
Oh, yeah.
And then...
This is my boy right here.
And it's funny, we just got this in on Sunday.
Yep.
Finally, after however many years it's been out, like 2 years maybe?
Yeah.
I finally saw Chapter 4, so...
That's what I was gonna ask because once you said you hadn't seen it, I was like, you got to watch it.
It's finally on
Max,
Peacock.
maybe? Oh,
now.
Peacock.
Because for a while there, it was on Stars.
What's his name?
This one, well, since it's a third party, Present Toys, this is the same one we did the unboxing of the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider.
Yep.
This one is Present Toys Suit Killer.
Yeah, Suit Killer, a.k.a. Mr. Wick.
Allegedly,
Yeah.
Mr. Wick.
Oh, he's upside down.
But this one does look really
It's
great.
a good likeness.
Yeah, the likeness is good. Allegedly, Keanu Reeves. Yeah, it might be available by the time this video airs.
So, Suit Killer, we got in a bunch of Transformers. We got in a bunch of some more Motu classic stuff.
Loose figures that I need to get sorted. I'll be sorting those.
We need
tomorrow.
our bags.
Yeah, I'm waiting on my bags to come in.
We got in, there was cool third party Transformers stuff. A whole bunch of DC. What's that series
DC
called?
Multiverse.
Okay. McFarlane. I call it McFarlane DC.
Some of those might be going to the show just because I have no room to put them on. I put out what I could, and we'll see. If they sell quick before the show, I'll put them out here. But it wouldn't be bad to take them to the show. There were some good ones in there. There were some lesser than, but there were some decent ones.
Yeah.
For what we paid for it, and he was happy with the offer. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we paid him for more than what he thought he was going to get. So
That was cool. Yeah, so that was a nice... We recovered pretty quick, too, because the front room was just loaded with stuff. Because before that, we even got the Super Mario, all of that Nintendo stuff. So Amiibos, Super Mario, Mario Kart,
Figures,
all the
Legos,
Nintendo, all Nintendo. Oh, we got a cool Lego display.
Yeah,
too.
we can get a pic of that. We'll show it up. We'll show it up on screen.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put that on the table. That would have took up a lot more room.
Oh, heck no. Plus, we can't. I don't know if we really want to be.
Hey, we didn't take it.
When you see it,
from there.
yeah, when you see it, you'll know what we're talking about. But I've seen them for sale at like Bookman's and other places as well too. So
yeah, so keep the trades coming in. You could always call us first or message us, or bring it in. But we prefer you call first so you don't bring stuff all the way down and we're not interested. So
yep.
It's always the best way.
Yeah, hit us on the bat phone.
Yeah, so I know we saw some stuff this weekend. I know you saw something. Was it on the weekend? Did you go Friday or
We
Thursday?
went.
Either way, you just recently saw it. So you've seen it. Edgar's seen it. I have not seen it, but that's fine. Go ahead and roll with it. Final Destination.
Oh yeah, it was Friday night, so
Okay.
it was
Weekend,
it was a
yeah.
weekend. Yeah, went and watched Final Destination with the family. It's kind of one of the staples that we watch all the time at the house. Like it's the guilty pleasure kind of movies. But we went Friday. It was nice. It was nice outside too. I mean, I just like saying when Arizona nights are good and stuff.
Yeah.
We don't get too many of them, so it was really nice out. And it was one thing I'll say, because I don't like spoiling the movies and stuff. But once you get into a series of movies where they're predictable and you know what's going to happen, I think it's cool when they can write a little bit differently, where it's like, aha, you thought we were going to get you there. Aha, we pushed it a little bit further. Oh, we're teasing you, and then now it's the kill.
See, I could be wrong because you were telling me that, and I thought they did that kind of in the first movies where you
They
think
do.
it was coming. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think they continue that on. Was
Yeah.
it like a legacy movie though? Was it or was it just kind of a new?
It was
Okay.
It was
I don't know if they were doing any legacy stuff. Not that there was that many people left from those movies, but
yeah, and then they kind of let Tony Todd kind of have this moment where I guess he knows he's kind of like that's maybe one of his last movies.
Yeah.
So I think I could be wrong, but from what I recall talking to Brianna about it, but I think he says some extra words that weren't in his, like he just added them. Like his
ad-libbed
own
some stuff.
ad-lib.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see that. Rest in peace, Tony Todd. Everyone that's a horror fan. It's crazy that he's in those movies too. That he's like in so many good movies that people appreciate and stuff. So. Shout out to Tony Todd. So if anything, if you're a Tony Todd fan, you should just go watch it just to see that,
But it's a fun horror movie.
It
I'm
was.
assuming. I mean,
It was.
some good kills from what I heard.
It was good. The acting wasn't terrible. The way it was shot was cool. There's some things. I mean, you could nitpick anything, but
Yeah.
I didn't fall asleep. That's always a
Yeah.
plus. So
That's a plus right there if you
For
made
me.
it through. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, those movies you know what you're getting when you go into. So I
Exactly.
would,
Guilty
why would you
pleasure.
nitpick it?
yeah.
You're going in hoping for some good kills. The plot's going to be what it's going to be. I look forward to seeing it, but I don't think I'm going to see it at the theater. I'll probably just wait.
We had a little bit of the money off the gift card left, so we were like, yeah, let's just go run it on this. And, it was like cheap because we only had to pay like less than half. And I'll kind of compare it to this. It's funny. This isn't my guilty pleasure, but the Fast and the Furious series, people watch that, and I mean, how much more can you do in a car? Oh, you could take it to outer space. That's
Yeah.
what you could do. So it's one of those things where
Yeah, you know what you're getting. You're not
Yeah.
trying to get some Oscar from it or anything. So. Although somebody did from a Friday the 13th movie. What part was that, Edgar?
Part 7.
Part
they
7.
wanted,
They wanted some Oscar consideration. Not gonna happen.
doubt it.
Yeah, so that's good. So how many stars would you give it out of 5?
5 stars.
Oh,
5
okay.
stars. Yeah. I'd give it 5 stars.
Nice.
Like I said, if you asked me, like if we bought it, it would go into the collection. But I mean, we watch them like periodically. We just start like series, and if we watch, Final Destination, we got to have that one in the series.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
You think 5's good, Edgar? You'd agree? Pretty close.
I think I gave it like a 3.5.
Okay.
But it's a good 3.5.
Three and a half's not bad for what it is. Yeah, I mean, I would consider that's still a good rating.
Yeah.
The best one's part 5, I want to say. Maybe?
Is that the race car one?
The rich one.
Oh, the bridge. Oh, okay.
See, I don't even think I made it to 5.
6, I think, is the race car one, right?
No, that's the one you just watched, the 6th one.
The 6. Oh, okay, so it's 4. So
You
it's
just watched
4.
the movie. There was a race
Man.
car in the new one. Spoiler alert.
No. The race car is in a previous one
That
where,
was the worst one.
yeah, we just watched it last night. So
Oh,
that was
okay.
like, I was like, I remember this one out of all of them.
Yeah, so go check it out. I guess if you haven't yet, it'll still be in theaters by the time this airs. So
Yep.
go check that out. I will see it, but I think I will just wait at this point. So, anything else you watch this weekend?
I did. I know we're gonna segue into that first, but I want to hear what you go on to. I got to hear just some feedback on the John Wick movie real quick. So.
Oh, really? You want me to get into
Yeah.
John Wick?
Just what was your thoughts on it?
My thoughts were, I mean, if you like action, it's straight up action from like 5 minutes in till the end. Yeah, so I mean, it's just a straight like ride. There's not much stopping in it. So, you go into it knowing what you're getting into too. So of course, you're like, oh, this dude, how could he do all this? He's hand-to-hand combat on it. But just look past that. It's a fun movie. It's a fitting ending. I'm glad that they did put an end to it instead of leaving it open like they did in the third one, how they left it open where he got shot off the building. This one, unless it's not him in there, but it looked like he died spoiler alert, he died at the end. But this movie's been out a while, so whatever, he died at the end. I finally saw it.
Yeah, this is old news.
Yeah, it's old news. If you haven't seen it by now.
Yeah, you're probably never gonna see it.
Yeah.
So you liked it?
Yeah, I'd give it out of 5. Fitting, it'd be like a 3.5 too, though.
All right, that's cool.
A little long because I mean it was good action, but it didn't need to be. It was like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
I mean, the dude walked up those steps and got kicked down like 7 times. So
Yeah,
I mean,
that was the longest 2 minutes in like cinema history.
It was
2 minutes, but it was like 30 minutes.
It was stretched.
Yeah.
That was a big stretch. So, yeah, John Wick, though, man, another guilty pleasure. Like, I like all of those movies. I like that he had a dog, and then they kind of like, everyone, I'm a big dog fan. So, like, when they kill his dog, they kind of set
You
this dude
understand?
off. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stole his car, not a big deal.
No,
Kill his dog, horrible.
horrible.
He's got to go. He's got to go for blood after that.
Yeah, he had his morals and stuff and his what he believed in, and he stuck to it pretty much till the end. So
Yep. And he did get that new dog.
yeah, he got a new one. Didn't have a dog in this one. The other guy had a dog, and that's kind of what saved him because he saved the dog. Spoiler alert.
Yep.
And but yeah, that was my
Left and right.
It's 2 hours and 40 minutes. You'll find something.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
spoiled, but spinoff coming this summer too. Ballerina. I think it's coming out this month. Maybe.
Show, right? Or movie?
No, movie.
Oh, it's movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think he makes a cameo in that, so it must be like a prequel. I'm assuming.
Something.
Spoiler alert. Where he lived.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did see that. There's another one I want to talk about last week, and I know you haven't watched it yet, so I'll keep it brief because we won't really get into it. I just want to recommend people watch it on Netflix. It's from Argentina, so it's subtitled.
I couldn't watch it.
It's the Eternaut, I think is how like it is in English. It's based off a 1957 graphic novel from this. His name's Hector Herman Osterfeld from Argentina. It's based off that book. Apparently that book is like groundbreaking. They did a U.S. version a while back, but it goes for like $400. They did like a graphic novel, like they converted it to like English language. But check that out. It has to do with I believe alien invasion. Spoiler alert. But I mean, you kind of something's going on from the beginning. But I recommend watching that. Once people watch it more, we'll talk about it. But also check out on YouTube. Look up the author and kind of look what he went through because there's some little documentary things. He was kind of against the regime later on in Argentina because their political stuff is really messed up.
It's big.
They went through a lot of different like revolutions and government like overthrows and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of sad how his like career ended. He was like a journalist as well, so he kind of put his life like on the line, and it didn't end well for him. Spoiler alert. But no, check it out. Really like the author. Check out that show. I'm not done with it yet. I kind of spaced it out because I don't want to like burn through it all the way. They're all out. All episodes are out. So the Eats or Not, check that out.
That sounds cool. Che Guevara was from Argentina.
He did so that I was going to talk about that too. Watch the documentary stuff because he did do a year after he died. He did a graphic novel based off like the last like weeks of his life, and so he got a lot of flack for that.
Dang,
too, so,
that's crazy.
You know, they were already the book got out, but then right away they went and destroyed all the presses and stuff for it. You know, once it came out in Argentina.
Is it still available? Is it like out anywhere?
If it is, I'm sure there's a couple of his books they did in U.S. print, like they did it in English. But like I said, they haven't done print since, so they go for a lot. That one you might be able to find it. I didn't really research it too much, but yeah, he did do like a graphic novel based off his life too. So
this is interesting.
Yeah, I sent you some stuff to check out too.
Yeah,
so
I'm
check
gonna
them
have
out.
to check it
There
out.
might be more out there, but there's some shorts on YouTube that they go talk about this dude. So.
Okay, I'll do that right when I get home.
All right, and the next thing I want to jump into that I did watch recently, it just came out Friday, and this one I was kind of looking forward to. And not to be like fronting and saying, oh, I was a huge fan of, you know, Pee-wee's Playhouse and all that when it came out. Like, I know of it. I did watch it. I mean, I'm not going to say like I'm this huge fan, but I was looking forward to this documentary coming out. Pee-wee as himself is now out on Max. It's a 2-part documentary. It's him prior to him passing away. They're interviewing him, and then it goes kind of through the beginning of how Pee-wee came to be, kind of how Paul Rubens got his start. I know you just watched the first episode, so what are your thoughts on it so far?
Well, just to kind of recap, I didn't even know this documentary was being made. I didn't even know it was out. So that was when you told me about it. I was like, oh, that's first on the agenda when we got home. But as far as Pee-wee, the character, I was a big fan of the movies. I didn't get into the show. That's a funny thing. Like, I think I was already too old to really buy into the kind of the quirkiness of the character, but I liked him because he ate Mr. T cereal.
I pity the poor fool. Don't eat my cereal.
In Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I mean, this dude was all about his bike, dude, and that I could relate to. So, and then of course everyone knows like Large Marge, and so yeah, I was a fan of the character. I didn't watch the show, so, you know, I know characters from the show, but I couldn't tell you like a whole episode that I watched that was like, you know, really crazy. But watching that documentary, it's pretty insightful, and I have to give him credit for allowing people into his personal life. I know that's a very hard thing to expose a lot of your personal like self, and for people to judge you or not judge you, whatever the case may be. You know, we all remember him as like these characters, but you also got to remember that, you know, we're all human, and, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes into your personal life that, you know, gets out sometimes.
Yeah, because and even you'll watch a documentary, it's not a spoiler alert, he kind of talks about sacrificing some of his personal things to just make his career happen. He kind of had to compartmentalize that stuff and just go with that for now because he knew the stuff, you know, coming out would kind of affect his career. So
big time.
So, you know, you got to give him props for that. But like I said, I'm not going to be like, oh, I was a huge fan of that. I remember when it was out, like you said, we would have been around 8 because I think the first ones came out like 86, 87. So you're right. We were probably watching whatever the hot cartoons and stuff were at the time. I do remember it being on. Do I remember sitting through it and watching it? No. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, yes. I mean, that was Tim Burton, so that made legit. That one happen.
Yeah, that was legit.
Big Top Pee-wee, not as much. That was a little bit later on. It went kind of a different route. Just how he came up with the character, though, it was kind of a blessing for him to come up with the character because that's what made him, but then it kind of pigeonholed him, I feel like. I mean, that's what he's known for. He got a star on the Walk of Fame, and it's Pee Wee Herman and not Paul Rubens.
Right.
So that made me think, like, he didn't make a big deal about it, but I'm like, yeah, that's kind of... They're giving it to a character, but not the actual man that, you know, made the character.
Like a one-trick pony. Kind of like when you think of when Jim Carrey left In Living Color, because it's the same thing. I mean, I think of Paul Rubens. He was like a improvising kind of trying to be comedian but actor.
Yeah.
So when they try to cross him over into acting, I think it was only roles that were gonna not be so serious.
Yeah.
Like, because Jim Carrey, obviously, comedian, but then when he tried to break out into like serious acting,
Yeah.
I think people couldn't really bite into it as
He
as
popped
much.
up in some stuff later on in his career, like he was in Blow.
We talking about
Pee Wee.
yeah, because he was also in Cheech and
Paul
Chong's
Rubens,
though.
I'm sorry.
Paul Rubens, he was also in Cheech and Chong's though.
That was prior though, I think,
Yeah.
to Pee Wee.
the shows.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
kind of he started well watch it, it's not a spoiler, they kind of show what he goes through. He was
Okay.
working with the Groundlings, and then he decided to do his own evening show. Remember, they let him do it at midnight.
Midnight.
Word started getting out about him, then he showed up in the like Cheech and Chong movie.
Okay.
And then because remember he was working the belt, like he was working the front, the hotel, but then he did a stand up later on, like in the movie where he was Pee Wee. So
Yeah.
I think that's when he started taking off. And then they had the adult show. It was more of an adult themed on HBO or Showtime. It was HBO or Showtime. They say it in the documentary. One of the TV HBO or Showtime like gave him like a specials that he would do kind of at night, and then it wasn't until later they contacted him about doing a children's show.
Yeah, because in the second, I think it's
A few moments later.
No, I think it's Cheech and Chong, the second movie.
it is
Cheech and Chong's next movie.
next movie.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, next movie. But he's like doing drugs in the movie and stuff, and like that's his. It's funny, but I mean, like when I was watching it back then, I didn't really know what was going on,
Yeah.
but he was kind of Pee Wee-esque, in that scenario, but. I do, I think that, he was aiming that show back to Pee Wee's Playhouse. I was going to say the reason why I wasn't into it like that was, I grew up on like Mr. Rogers. I never watched Captain Kangaroo.
That was a little older. That was before
Yeah.
our time anyway. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know of it, but I don't think I've ever watched it. Yeah.
What was the redheaded, like he was like a manic or a maquette. They would do Howdy Doody.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Howdy
Yeah, that
Doody
way
was
before
like
our
those.
time, too.
Yeah, those were all like kind of shows similar. But once like, once he got into I think like the character of it. I said, like going back to the Growlings and stuff. It was on at midnight, so there was no kids watching that. It was all like adults.
Well, even that one wasn't televised. The midnight one was people would just go watch it.
Yeah, and then they would just kind of like.
Yeah.
The cool thing is like seeing how many people this guy knew.
Oh yeah.
Prior to him becoming famous, like
One eternity later.
that the guy that
Cassandra
died
Peterson?
from the Simpsons.
Oh,
Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman, yes.
It was Phil Hartman and another girl. Hold on, it was on the tip of my tongue. Elvira.
Yeah.
So yeah, Phil Hartman and Elvira. I was like, damn, this dude was kicking it with those.
Yeah, they were all
people.
part of. That was before they got big too.
Yeah.
And Phil Hartman was actually doing Pee Wee's Playhouse, and then he
Yeah.
had to leave because he got a job with SNL. So,
Can't be mad at that.
but it's all in the documentary. We won't go
Yeah.
walk through everything, but I just always like documentaries like that, just because like it's people. Like I said, I'm not gonna say, oh, I was the hugest fan. I know he's part of pop culture. He was around the '80s when we were, all the cool stuff that we always say was around.
Yep.
I just like when they deep dive more into, you kind of see how the person is.
Yeah.
There's some genius there. You can kind of see they're controlling. That's part of the genius, kind of tight circle, which I kind of identify with that. Not the genius part, the tight circle. Like I don't
Yeah.
like to have my business. Like I'm kind
Yeah.
of personal. So just kind of cool to, see stuff like that. I like watching documentaries, and that definitely is a good one. Whether you're a fan or not, I think you should watch it.
Yeah. It's part of TV history
Yeah, like I
and
said,
like
TV history,
pop
pop
culture.
culture, yeah.
So it's right up our alley. Lawrence Fishburne was on that show too. So
Cowboy Curtis.
that was always I remember him. Like I do remember that. And one part that I was gonna get into, I don't know if you heard this, it was kind of a little, I don't know, like if he was backhandedly just dissing this guy, but the mailman, he was saying that like he had a fan club and people were mailing in cash, and he was like, "Yeah, I think this dude was stealing
Yeah,
the
he
money,
goes,
but he just,
he goes,
but
I think
he
he
just."
pocketed most of the cash. Yeah,
I'm like,
and that was it. It never went any deeper into it. Like it just cut to whatever else was next. Yeah, he brought him back later, so I doubt he was really
upset about
with
it.
him.
Yeah. I'm like, but I mean, you would see this dude just walking out with lumps in his pockets, I would assume. Or...
PB wasn't around. This dude had his own separate thing where they sent it, I'm sure, and then dealt with the mail. But
that's interesting.
The fan club. Yeah, he did kind of
he slapped
mention it, but it didn't seem like it bothered him a lot.
No.
Like it was probably, nothing to him.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, classic 80s. Another cool fact was, he was like right there on the Sunset Strip, and there was a lot of culture coming up out of that little area. So the punk rock scene was really big, and like if you ever see it's like a super classic 80s. It's a little punk guy like sideways, and he's kind of looking, and it's like the artist, and it didn't even click to me, and me being into art, I didn't know that was the same guy that was doing the Pee Wee stuff, but it makes sense now. When you see it, you look at it, you're like, whoa, like everything just makes sense that he reached out to that guy for the art, and the guy was like, he goes, I had nothing really going on, so he became like the full-on
he designed
artist.
the set and all that stuff.
Sick.
He worked with them real close after. I can't remember the artist's name either, but it's on the documentary, so check it out.
Edgar will flash it on the screen for you guys.
But yeah, check it out, definitely. You need to watch the second one. We'll talk about it a little bit more. It is a 2-part thing. James hasn't watched the second one, but we'll talk about it off camera.
What do you give that?
That one I give it a 5 out of 5. I like documentaries that are kind of... They go in depth on some stuff. You could tell there was some stuff I think he might have had control on where he didn't go into it as much. But for what it was, it always trips me out because you watch those, and it has to be people with money because you always see like these documentaries, and they always happen to have film and stuff like of it.
Of course.
Like, there's always film.
Yeah, like
when
back
I was
then.
younger, pictures. Nobody ever had like a camera was running around like filming stuff. So you won't see little me on like film anywhere.
Yeah, and obviously he, just based off of the documentary, he said his dad was pretty like a go-getter. Like,
well, it sounded like, because even the sister mentioned that's what happens when you come from privilege. She actually threw that out there at like one point and said something. So, but yeah, on these ones you always see these documentaries. I'm like, you'll find no film. Not that there's ever going to be a documentary of me, but
right.
You won't find any film of little me running around.
Yeah, that's
pictures if you're lucky.
It's true though.
Yeah.
But I would give it off part one. Like I would say, to me it's still like a strong 5 too, because again, you're going out there and kind of giving the the inside scoop on who you are, and if it's good or bad, you're still putting it out there. So
yeah, good or bad, and you kind of can explain yourself too. Like if they interview, you can kind of from your perspective, not from the outside of what we remember happening.
Oh yeah, Edgar's young, and I was asking him what he remembered about him, and he remembers one thing that happened in his later years that not a lot of people are fond of. So you got to eat that with the with the rest of it too.
And they do talk about that in the second part, so you'll see what he says about that. So
yeah,
but check it out if you haven't. It's on HBO Max, whatever they're calling it now. All right, let's get into some upcoming events, stuff we have coming up in June. First off is going to be the Friday the 13th night market at the Thunderbird Lounge, hosted by Cult Classics. Give them a follow if you haven't. We will be set up there with some cool stuff. We'll flash the flyer up on there when we get one. And then we have your event coming up.
June 20th, the Master Blasters 50th anniversary, celebrating 50 years of art culture, everything. It's big time. So there's going to be people coming from all over the world to Arizona, which is really, really awesome. Shout out to SAR. He's pretty much the president of the crew, and he's spearheading a lot of this stuff. Shout out to him, man. He's got so much history and information. I'm waiting for him to come out with a book so that way it can be all documented. That's how much stuff this guy has been a part of, and You know, you've heard him talk. You know, he's talked about how his movie was in, how his vehicle was in a movie with John Travolta.
Get Shorty,
and you know, just so much other things. So that's June 20th. That will be at the Walter Art Studio.
Walter Art Studio, nice.
Yep.
He doesn't have a book out yet?
He's working on it.
In other people's books.
He's working on it. He's in a ton of books. He's, you know, he was in a issue of High Times. I have it. Yeah, he gave me a copy of it. Yeah. So he's been all over the place, man.
So if you're into graffiti art, gonna have music there too, right?
Music by the Phoenix Funketos. There's gonna be catering by some of our favorites, Sabor a Mi. They will be there. You have special guests like Blade. If you know anything about the Star Wars documentary, Blade's going to be there. Potentials are going to be there. I don't want to name them just in case they're not. But, you know, members from all over the crew will be there. It's going to be a really great time. So I suggest you guys mark your calendars and come check that out as well, too.
And that's open for anybody that wants to go check it out, right?
Anybody, all ages.
Cool. Yeah, so then we got that, and then this going to be a busy weekend. We already talked about it. Evil Shred by Horrormonger. They're doing theirs on the 21st. We'll be set up at that one. And then last but not least, Epic Toy Show, June 22nd. It'll be a Sunday this time around. So we're looking forward to that. And then I'm sure we'll have enough stuff booked up for July once that's coming around.
That's a heavy 3-day weekend.
Oh, yeah. That happens like that sometimes. You can't avoid it. You try. But stuff pops up, you know. Gotta get it while the getting's good.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're with it. You know, the more the merrier. So, you know, the Epic Toy Show. I do want to say one thing about that. A lot of hype around this one, even though it's on a Sunday. A lot of good stuff coming. I already know that. We've talked to numerous vendors. Just the stuff we're bringing alone is all fresh. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a really good show. So make sure you mark your calendars for the Epic Toy Show.
Mark your calendar. Go to church early that day so you can make it. It's going to be open until 3, or go later. Go to night church if you can, because it closes at 3.
Yep.
But definitely don't miss it. Don't let church get in the way. You'll be all right. God will understand.
You've got a point there.
So, that being said, that ends episode 26, unless you got something else you want to add. Keep it sweet and simple this time.
Next time we're gonna talk about some of our favorite stuff from the shop. We're definitely gonna build that up, but we want to start hearing from you as far as like when I say favorite stuff, like things that are out, that are hot, things that we have that we specialize in. You guys know what kind of things we specialize in, so we'll talk about that more. But we want to start hearing in the comments. Things that you appreciate, like that we carry here at the shop that maybe is different than other places, or things that we that we do get that you guys like. So,
or business questions or
comments about the show. Like if you want to be on the show, if you want to see certain content. We have a Godzilla episode coming up, so
we won't say when yet because we got to make sure we do it first.
But that will be coming, and much more. So again, thank you guys all for tuning in. We're trying to get to the big subscribers just so we have a nicer audience, so we can reach a lot more people and talk more stuff about all the like-minded things that pop culture stuff brings us.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.
Peace.
Premium prices. My prices. Premium prices. Premium prices. No, come to two. My price.